Sir.
Are you able to see the document?
No, I'm actually in my truck on the way to a closing, to a loan closing.
Let's see if you can't get somebody on the phone. I can take the notes. We called the real estate agent yesterday. They did not bother to return the call. Well, that's a note from the 20th. I'm sorry. They didn't bother to return in a week.
It's that. No, he's the one that he sent the thing back about the LOI about they want to do anything. They didn't want to fix anything, and they wanted.
Okay, so we're talking about Summit, Missouri. Did you?
Correct. Yeah, Lease Summit.
Okay. So what we do is nothing. They're coming back with what they will not do, not what they will do, and we're not going to negotiate against ourselves. If they say, hey, we're not going to do this, and we ignore it. It's that simple.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly the wording. Yeah, it was like we're just. He said they talked about it a long time or whatever, and then
long time.
A long time. HVAC is there. The only thing was he just said that if we can get the rate up, I can see about us taking on some TI. And they'd show the cam charges. I mean, I think the only thing he said was if we're talking deal this cheap, I want to get 15 years in the base lease instead of 10. Can't do 12 months rent. I think he said they could do 3.
He didn't.
3
I'm
for free
looking through all of your emails.
Cheap.
He didn't CC me, did he?
Yeah. Here, I'll forward it back to you again. Make it easier.
It's Andrew.
Andrew the Brain. Yeah, and that's the one they were like looking for 14 or something.
Had a long conversation internally about this deal. I think our bottom dollar on rent is 11, which is perfect because we asked for 10. That's less than $12 per square foot. And I don't know if you understand this. That's the most important thing. It's really the only thing that matters. If we are talking, if we are taking a deal that cheap, I want to get 15 years in the base lease instead of 10. That's precisely what I talk about in the course.
I know you said 15 anyway, but when we talked to him on that day, he said you told him 15, and that he got a little excited about that.
Right. So it may not make sense to some, but the longer runway at a fixed rate is better. Have you ever owned a residential property that you leased out a rental?
Yeah, a long time ago.
If you're going to own that space for 10 years, how many tenants do you want?
One would be the ideal.
There you go. One. If you deal with 15 tenants in 15 years, you're going to have to go in and change the carpet and drapes every year. That's not good.
Right.
That is most certainly not what we want.
That's why I got out of that business. I hated that shit. Dealing with flaky ass people.
So although we mentioned 15 years, isn't that what was on the LOI?
I believe so. Yeah, because I didn't change that.
He didn't redline it. Oh, he did redline it. Yeah, he did. Okay, so these are his red lines. No less than 15 years. Price $11. He went from $10 to, so that's $8 per square foot per year to less than 12. You understand, that's really all this is. The rest is fluff.
right?
We'll do 20.
Yeah. So they were looking for 15 or 14.50 plus $4 or whatever for triple net.
Well, there's nothing you can do about
So,
triple nets. But when
right.
they started, you're
Yeah. So
correct. It was $15 a square foot per year, and triple nets. We can't change what their taxes.
$4 and something.
Yeah, we can't change the taxes, the snow removal. Here in Arizona, we don't have that, but we do have tree trimming if trees exist.
Cactus trimming.
I had, luckily they grow slowly. I had a particular landlady that wanted me to help her paint the building every year, every 5 or 6 years, and I'd throw money at it. I'd say, well, I don't want to split it with the other tenants. I'm not going to go out there and physically paint the place. Didn't make sense. So I'd throw some money at it. And then the sandwich shop guy always wanted to do it himself. Okay. It's a symbiosis. It's a give and take. Abated rent, they're going from 12 to 3 months. That's not going to fly. Now, if they did redline it, so we're not negotiating against ourselves. I misunderstood. I'm looking at it. He went through and changed some things. 3 months, no. Delivery condition, as is. HVAC, he lined through the whole thing. Now, in my LOI, originally it says that, okay, but in my LOI, I come out and I tell you, if it already has air conditioning, ask for it to be warranted, and you left it as installed. They're not going to install air conditioning if it already exists, so you should have changed that. So we're going to ask for it to be warranted. That's not a small thing. Normally, we're getting $30,000 of installed HVAC. He's saying no. So we'll say warranty the air for 5 years. Anything that's going to go wrong is going to go wrong 100 times in the first 5 years. He's okay with replacing the ceiling tile. He's okay with removing existing floor tile, which is interesting because when we ask for that, we say, landlord is to remove existing tile to facilitate tenants' work. And it's about $1 a square foot to remove tile and probably $4 or $5 a square foot to replace tile. We don't replace it. We polish the concrete. And if you're smart, you'll buy your own polishing machine and do it yourself, and you'll always have that machine to reinvigorate the floors. So it's a clever trick, right? We're saying we want you to remove the tile to facilitate our work, and that work won't include retiling. In polishing concrete, the most expensive thing is removing the floors. Glass, he lined through it. You said to replace plexiglass panels. There's plexiglass in there?
There's like 1 or 2 of the front glass panels are plexiglass, have been replaced with plexiglass.
That pisses me off. Why would they say no? Every time you're going to buy a brand new car, it's going to be delivered in immaculate condition. If the glass is chipped, they're going to replace the windshield. You might not even want that car. You might want one off the production line, right?
Right.
They're going to deliver you this building with plexiglass? That's small potatoes. We have to revert back to the lease rate, which is phenomenal. But small potatoes. Another red line here, the CAM charges, that doesn't matter. He's saying they're not going to provide you statements. They'll provide the lease within 15 days, no problem. I'm just scanning and I don't see any other red lines. So what do we do now?
That is the question.
That's the big question. And the answer is still nothing.
Okay.
Sadly, this is a game that we hope to win. And many, many times the best negotiating method is doing nothing.
So we're in that he who talks first loses.
Right? Yeah, he did redline it, but when I'm reading through this, the thing that really ticks me off is the glass. That's petty.
Yeah.
Cut and paste this into the document and he will reach out. How can I possibly know? Because he will.
Right.
Back to the email. Had a long conversation internally about this deal. That's an interesting way to lead a business email, right? Okay. They're intrigued. They're excited.
Right.
They had a long conversation. I think our bottom dollar is on rent is 11. That's key. That's brilliant. Good for you. We did it. You can't get to $11 a square foot when they're asking $14.50 by offering 11. You have to offer 10, and that's the game. It's
Right.
all a game.
Right. Right.
If we're taking a deal that cheap, and again, the conversation and the argument, which is what every negotiation is simple. We say, it's not cheap. It's a laundromat. And I fall back on that every time. I'm not a realtor. I don't have initials after my name. I'm not an attorney. I've never played one on TV. We're going to spend a ton of money on equipment, and that's why we are different. They want a laundromat to remain here. I want to get 15 years in the base lease.
Okay.
He said, okay, no problem. We'll offer. So now we know we have a tipping point. We have a negotiating point where we can offer 20. We cannot do 12 months of free rent as well. We have a few folks kicking the tires on this place for uses other than a laundromat. Ooh, there's a threat.
Yeah.
Again, in the course, it's the vanilla threat. This is textbook. It's like this guy works for me. Just chip-shotting everything I say every time. I can do 3 for free and then 6 real cheap to give you enough time to get open and on your feet. No. With regards to HVAC, it's all there and ready to go, so I changed your wording around a bit. No, he didn't. He just redlined it. The only issue I had with the storefront windows, you want them replaced, that's okay, but it's on your side. No. If we can get that rate up, we can see about taking on some TI. No, the rate is the most important thing. Lastly, on the documentation, I'll show your last year's CAM charges, but we don't share financial statements. Oh, okay, that's fine. So this is simple. We do nothing. If he writes back to you and he doesn't CC me, let me know. And the moment that he does, we will call back the same day and we'll say, oh, we thought this was a done deal. You threatened us that you've got tire kickers. It's adorable how people use, we all speak English, right? So he's going to use those little cutesy phrases. And, I say this again and again, but now you're in the position. We've been working together for how long? Month. You've got an LOI out. It's being redlined. You've got the opportunity. A lot of people would have rolled into this spot for $14.50 and spent $300,000 on the business rights. You are so far ahead. But this is, again, what the Danny do. I'm here to temper your expectations and also make sure you don't make a deal that I wouldn't make, especially in the beginning.
Cool. Right. I won't fuck it up right off the bat. Let me get into it. So I've got some more. I'm trying to track down some owners for next week. So
landlords.
We'll sit on this. Yes, landlords. Yes.
Agents.
Landlords.
The enemy.
I got 2 of them. They're both fucking. They're both standalone buildings. So I know who the owners are. It's just a little hard tracking down their numbers.
It's not supposed to be easy, or everybody be doing it. Did I text you that private video on finding landlords?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Keep your chin up.
Appreciate it, man.
That when they write back, it's basically them saying, "Hey, did you get my red lines?" And we're like, "Yeah." And then we will do what I do. And we'll call them on the phone, and we'll be able to go point by point now and get this thing wrapped up. Stay tuned because they will do exactly that. Ciao.
Awesome. All right, buddy. Thanks.
Bye. Now on to you guys. No, you're not leaving without me. I'll be right there. Shelley scheduled our teeth cleaning together, hopefully in separate chairs. And we're supposed to be there in 2 minutes. Hi, everyone. Anyone able to do this with $5,000 or less? Mike, yes, that's the point. If you have $5,000, keep it in your bank, bro. You're listening to me discuss with a client of mine who paid me some money. Yeah. Okay, let's not mince words. If you want to bring in a team, it's me. But beyond that, you're not going to give these people money. You're going to start a brick and mortar business that's in rented space. $5,000? Stop thinking that because you only have $5,000 saved that you can't do something. It's wrong thinking. It's what keeps us going to the JOB, and job stands for just over broke. You're going to stay there when you have that attitude. Oh, gee, I need more money. I need more business savvy. I consult with people say, well, when do I need an LLC? You don't already have one? Are you an adult? Any asset or liability, no matter what it is, you need an LLC. I've got 37 of them. Well, that's it for you guys. Comment in the video section, and I will respond as I always do right away if it's a question. Direct from the dental chair. We had a cold call. Mike scouted the store. We had a cold call, and here we are a week later with a redlined LOI, and this is the way the game is played. Like, subscribe, follow, do the stuff.